Hi guys, and welcome to episode 4 of Random Month, where through this month of September, I'm picking topics at random to review. So, we've all heard of this game show before, I'm assuming, because it's been on all over the world, but its original first broadcast in this country was the 4th of September 1998. What am I talking about? Of course, I am talking about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The quiz show that took the country by storm on the 4th of September 1998 by being the first in television history to offer a top prize of £1 million. Now, let me tell you a bit about the show's history. Here we go. So, who it was hosted by, what it entailed, and if they bagged any winners here in the UK over its original history. And you can bet it fell subject or victim to a scandal. So, let me introduce you to the UK host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire from when it originally started on the 4th of September 1998. It was hosted by this man. This is Chris Tarrant, who hosted the show originally between the 4th of September 1998 to its original cancellation on the 11th of February 2014. With his famous catchphrases, "Is that your final answer?" and "But we don't want to give you that." Now, the aim of the game was simple. The contestants would have to answer a series of general knowledge questions correctly in order to win the top prize. 15 questions was what it was originally, with safety nets coming in at £1,000 and £32,000. These would be the 5th and 10th questions respectively, with other amounts ranging between £100 and £500,000. That's £100, by the way. That's on question 1, and £500,000 for question 14. And to help them along the way, they would have 3 lifelines. It did eventually become 4. The original 3 lifelines were the 50-50, in which 2 of the answers were taken away. Phone a friend, in which the contestants were allowed to phone a friend of their choice for 30 seconds to tell them the question and hopefully get the right answer out of them. And ask the audience, where they just polled the audience for their opinions on what the answer was. Now, the format did eventually change to 12 questions in 2007. Which means question 2 was the £1,000 safety net, and question 7 was now £50,000. They did this in the hopes they'd find more £1 million winners. Now, we're going to get to the £1 million winners in a sec. Not literally. They did, in the end, implement the clock, but it was too little, too late, because this format change was unsuccessful. And as I mentioned before, the show was cancelled on the 11th of February 2014. Pardon me. Now, over the course of the show's history, they found £5 million winners. And these 5 lucky winners of the £1 million were as follows: Judith Keppel, David Edwards, Robert Bridges, Pat Gibson, and Ingram Wilcox. Now, guys, this is where we get into the scandal portion of the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire's history, because in 2001, a coughing scandal happened during the taping of one of the episodes of the show. And, well, I think it'd be better if I actually just told you who these people behind the scandal were. Because it involved someone coming on the show and cheating his way to the million. So I'm going to tell you the full backstory of the coughing scandal. Here we go. Charles Ingram and his wife Diana conspired with a fellow contestant, Tequin Whittock, to cheat on the show to help him win the million. Now, I'm going to wind back a bit to tell you the full story, to give you a synopsis of the story. Basically, it all started when the first member of Diana's family to be bitten by the game show bug, Diana's brother, Adrian Pollock, who had appeared on the show 4 times, got into the hot seat to try and win the million and bowed out somewhat graciously at £32,000. I say somewhat graciously because he was heavily in debt at the time, according to the play Quiz, which was based on this scandal, and needed the money to pay his debts back. Anyway, he was followed then closely by Charles's wife, his younger sister, Diana, shown here, herself, who came on the show and bowed out somewhat less graciously at the same hurdle. So when it came time for Charles, Diana's husband, who was also shown in this image, to appear on the show himself, well, on his first night, he played well up to the £32,000 mark, but where it started to get dodgy was on his second night. And this, after his first night, is where Tequin Whittock comes in, as Diana spoke to him on the phone to set up this cheating strategy. So by the next time Charles appeared on the show, with the help of Diana and Tequin, who is shown in this image here, coughing every time Charles brushed over a correct answer, helped him to climb all the way to the top prize. But it wasn't found out that they'd actually cheated until a few days after the fact. Although they were suspected of cheating, as the producers actually noticed something dodgy was going on. Now, I should point out that Tequin at this stage was a fastest finger contestant. And of course, this all culminated in the scandal I'm talking about in this section now of this episode, because this led to Charles's check getting stopped because they found out he cheated, and Charles, Diana, and Tequin all being arrested and charged with conspiracy to steal a valuable asset, in this case £1 million, by deception, cheating, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And of course, at their trial, they all claim not to have known each other, despite being the conspirators and co-conspirators in this whole scandal. And of course, they were found guilty of their crimes and were sentenced to a 6-month suspended sentence, which is hardly anything at all for what they did. They committed fraud live on national television and got away with it, basically. Now, this scandal was then dramatized in the play and TV miniseries Quiz, which I might just point out is an excellent dramatization and is worth a watch. It's actually one of my favourite dramas. Well, before I end the show with my opinion, I forgot to mention during that segment that it was also documented on a News Night special, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Major Fraud. And you can actually watch the episode, even though it didn't originally air, because it was pulled from the airwaves due to the whole scandal. But you can watch it on YouTube. So go and watch how this all unfolded. Charles's Game. The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Major Fraud. And, well, the show did then return in 2018 to celebrate its 20th anniversary, then hosted by Jeremy Clarkson. And has been kind of going strong since then, but airs sporadically. So what do I think of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, it's always been a favourite quiz show of mine, and it still is to this day. And if it's one of yours, I hope you appreciate the effort I've gone to make this episode of Random Month. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, but you'll have to wait and see what it's going to be about. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have us a magical time.